Your petrol price, your cooking gas, your electricity bill, the price for everything that moves by ship or plane, all of it is shaped by decisions made in a building in Vienna by a group called OPEC. For 60 years, OPEC has been the single most powerful force in global energy markets. It decides how much oil the world gets. It decides what you pay for it. On May 1, 2026, it lost its second most powerful member, the UAE, the third largest producer in OPEC, with the capacity to pump 5 million barrels per day, walked out. 58 years of membership gone in a single announcement. The official reason? The UAE wants freedom to produce more oil without Saudi Arabia controlling its quotas. That is true, but it is not the whole story. CFR published the analysis that nobody else is saying clearly. UAE and Saudi Arabia's relationship has fractured, not over oil, over Iran war. When Iran attacked both countries, they stood together. Then Saudi Arabia moved towards a diplomatic settlement, joining Pakistan, Egypt, and Turkey in pushing for a ceasefire. The UAE, which had taken direct missiles and drone strikes on its own territory for weeks, wanted something different. It wanted a settlement that permanently removes Iran's ability to threaten Emirati security, not a pause, a guarantee. The Saudis were willing to settle for less. The UAE was not. That disagreement eroded the trust that had held Gulf coordination together for a generation. And so, on May 1, while the world was watching Hormuz and the ceasefire, the UAE ended 58 years of membership in the most consequential energy institution in the world. Here is what that means for you. Saudi Arabia and the UAE together controlled the majority of the world's spare oil production capacity, the idle production that gets switched on during global energy crisis to prevent price spikes from becoming economic catastrophes. That mechanism has stabilized your energy costs during every major shock of the last 60 years. CFR confirmed Saudi Arabia now has a weaker hand. OPEC becomes structurally weaker. The next energy crisis arrives without the shock absorber that existed before this war. You are paying for global instability every time you fill up. The institution that was supposed to limit how much you pay just lost the partner that made it work. The question is who benefits from a world where the stabilization mechanism no longer exists and whether anyone in power is asking it.